Morning, everyone. Well, we should say Happy Shrove Tuesday. If you saw the pictures, and hopefully it came through this morning, of pancakes. We talk about Shrove Tuesday being the Tuesday before the beginning of Lent. The question is, where does that word Shrove come from? Well, they say that to shrive something is to give absolution after confession. So in other words, if you've been shrived, then you have been granted absolution after confession. That's probably an appropriate thing around about Lent now, I guess. But that's where the word comes from, Shrove Tuesday. So it's cleaning up our act before we get into Lent. And that's where pancakes come from. Pancakes, cleaning out the cupboards and using up those things that are not going to last. The things like eggs and fat and milk and things like that, which will go off, which need to be used. The French-speaking countries would call the celebration Mardi Gras, which I gather means Fat Tuesday. That's a time when they celebrate before beginning Lent. They have a big party, burn it all off, and then they go into fasting. And of course, we remind ourselves that tomorrow is a day of fasting and abstinence, no meat, and we limit ourselves to the amount of food that we eat. Now, of course, there are those people who will say technically there are certain people who don't have to fast, and they would be the people who are over retirement age and so forth. So technically, I suppose I don't have to fast. You'd never think I'm a retirement ager, but I choose to, and why not? And fasting for me, we'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, but fasting is not necessarily a hardship. The gospel of today is Mark's Gospel, chapter 9, and it's very similar to something that happens in chapter 10 of Mark's Gospel, rather a special passage for me when it comes to baptisms. Jesus says, "Anyone who welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me." Anyone who welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me. So, particularly at this time going into Lent, here on Shrove Tuesday, we might reflect on how important it is to prepare children during Lent for the proper actual celebration. In other words, let's look at the religious significance. Let's say, okay, we're going to fast, we're going to give up things. We're not just going to give sweets and so forth. Why do we do that? We do that for a good reason, and that is obviously to give recognition to the time and the place for Christ in our lives. And if that means giving up something in our lives, then that's good. So, in the words of the song of way back when, teach your children well. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again. God bless.